Hello and welcome to From Our Correspondents. This happens to be the second edition of the program. My name is Richard K Nyarko, and this is where we touch base with all our correspondents from across the 16 regions of the country. All the people that make the independent, fearless and credible journalism happen. On this program, we bring you unique stories from our communities, stories that you may have missed in the course of the week, and all the backstories from the stories we covered in the course of the week. Where I'm standing now is the Cape Coast Sports Stadium, the event venue for Ghana's 65th Independence Anniversary celebration. This is also where the senior national team, the Black Stars, are expected to battle with the Super Eagles of Nigeria come the 25th of March to secure a qualification slot to the 2022 World Cup. We begin today's edition from where our man Rafik Salam brought us one of the biggest stories of the week. He told us about the Wild West District Director of Health Services, Clifford Venkwinwini, expressing worry over the use of productive working hours by nurses to look for water. He noted some health facilities and communities were without potable water, forcing nurses to move closer to communities in neighboring Burkina Faso with gallons to look for water. Clifford Venkwinwini is therefore appealing to the government and benevolent organizations to come to the aid of the health facilities there. My colleague Rafik Salam reports from Wachao. We still stay up north and to the East Mamprusi municipality, where the deplorable road network there is forcing many residents to travel by walking and using bicycles instead of the use of vehicles. Roads across the municipality are said to be in deplorable conditions, with communities connected by poorly maintained footpaths and unpaved routes, making it difficult for vehicles to ply them. Residents living in remote communities are therefore having to walk long distances to reach nearby towns to access market centers, health facilities, schools, among other critical social services. Correspondent Ilyasu Tanko has more in this report.
The Kulgona Road in the northeast region connects parts of the East Mamprusi municipal to the Jinjo district. From Nagbo along the Nalirgu-Bintiri Road, the road runs left into the Kulgona community to Tuna number 1 and 2 and further into deep Konkomba territories. This is the only available road for the hundreds of mainly Konkomba residents living along this stretch, yet for many years, the bad nature of the road continues to pose a real danger to the lives of the residents here as well as their socio-economic development. Particularly, the lack of a footbridge over the Kulgona stream, coupled with the poor maintenance of the road, has led to a dysfunctional transport system, as vehicles are no longer able to ply it. As a result, walking and bicycles remain the most frequently used mode of transportation.
The problem is that, there's no car passing the road, and all because of the road is no good. Due to that, that's why they are. So you see, people are always walking on the road, going to the market and things.
These women I met from a funeral ceremony in Kulgona are walking back to Tuna number 2 in the Jinjo district. They tell me this is a normal way of life here, since vehicles are unable to use the road. These communities on this stretch, as a result of the bad nature of the road, are accessible only in the dry season, like this time when motorcycles and tricycles are also used. These motorists expressed their worries and called on the government to develop the road. Normally we deliver at home, except in critical cases where they have to use bicycles to carry you to hospital. But in the rainy season, the stream gets full and the road is always inaccessible. I even lost a pregnant relative last season. She was being taken to Nalirgu while on labor, but died when they could not cross the stream.
The kind of lives that people lost due to this bridge, we can't count them. Because someone is in critical condition, vomiting, running diarrhea. The person needs IV fluids for resuscitation. And because of this, they can't cross. If it's raining season, especially August, September, October, thereabout, they can't cross. So government has to do his best. We are begging on the government to try and do his best to save the people.
Every day woman, they do go there and buy their ingredients. The rain season, the women cannot cross the river. The stranger, those from the Bumpurubu, Yinyu, what have you, when they can't cross. Those who come with their car, they can't cross. So he's appealing, if the government of Ghana can even look at our face and come and do the bridge for us.
According to the residents, farming, which is the only thriving economic activity, is also impacted as they are unable to carry their farm produce to market centers, have access to health facilities and other social services that are available only in the urban centers. The residents, while pouring out their frustration, blame the poor nature of the road for the higher levels of poverty, lower school attendance, and worst health outcomes. This stream has claimed more than 5 lives just last season. I am a traditional birth attendant, and last season I fell in the water with a newly born baby and her mother while returning from Nalirgu. It took the intervention of some good Samaritans to rescue us. I even broke my leg, so we are appealing to the government to fix the road. Many people have lost their motorbikes here. A number of children have also perished. So we will be grateful if the road is fixed.
When you cross the river in Overside and the rain is falling, your heart is not stable. When you're over there and you have to cross and the rain is falling, you are not stable. So that's what is appealing. If the government of Ghana can do something to our bridge, we will be more happy.
Ilyasu Tanko reporting for JoyNews.
Let's come down south to Sekondi Takoradi, where scores of residents of Sekondi Takoradi and its environs who rely on water from the Ghana Water Company Limited in the western region have been grappling with acute water shortage, which has hit the municipality for months. While some areas have not seen water running through their taps for months, others have to contend with erratic flow of water. The residents have to continue to consider other alternative means of getting water, as drawing, treatment and subsequent distribution of potable water from the Ghana Water Company Limited has become a problem. My colleague Natalia Kwansa has more in the following reports.
For months, Hamza and other commercial tricycle operators in the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis have been cashing on water, cutting water. This is due to the shortage of water within the metropolis for months now. Though Hamza refuses to speak on record, he tells me that for some places, they make close to 500 cedis a day. They charge 2 cedis per gallon of water and 30 to 50 cedis as transportation per trip. I met Hamza here at Windy Ridge, a mostly hilly suburb of Takoradi. He is serving a family who have solely relied on him during this water crisis.
Since last year, November, we have not had water. For about 3 months now, we always fetch water, which costs us between 30 Ghana cedis to 50 Ghana cedis. We are appealing to the authorities to open the taps for us, for we really need water. To top it all, we live on a hill, and always fetching water really affects our work.
It has now become a common phenomenon to see residents line up at a community standpipe and along streets with the popular Kufuor gallons in search of water. 75-year-old John Charles Annan, a herbalist, has traveled 31 kilometers from Shama with this gallon in search of water in Takoradi.
It is really a horrible situation in Shama when it comes to water. Ifyokuma is not like Shama. Ifyokuma has a lot of wells, so even when the taps are not running in Ifyokuma, it is not much of a problem because you can get a well in somebody's house to fetch water. Unlike Shama, you will not get water anywhere when the taps are not running. Unfortunately, the where that was dug by the whites for the construction of the castle has been taken.
Residents of Sekondi Takoradi and surrounding communities have for decades grappled with the issue of perennial water shortage between January and March, but it came a bit earlier this year. By November 2021, the situation had already got out of hand, with residents of hilly communities most affected.
This water issue is really affecting us. Can you imagine? I've been walking for almost like 20 minutes to get this water. So we are pleading with the government and everybody to help us. We people at this area, we are really suffering.
How long has this been?
Almost, I think 5 months, 6 months. Yeah. It has been like this since last year. So we are really pleading with them. We should do something about it. We can't always be going far for water. This is not even pipe-borne water. This is borehole. So just imagine. I'm really tired.
The communications manager of the Ghana Water Company Limited for the Western and Central regions, Nanaya Oberima Banie, admits how challenging the situation has been this season.
Because we are in a dry season, it does not rain. And once it does not rain, the level will keep going down by the day. So we got to a point where the river level is so low that the pumps are not able to draw enough water for treatment. Secondly, because of illegal mining activities upstream the river Pra, all the silt has come to be deposited at the intake.
In November 2020, Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Maafo called for the rehabilitation and expansion of the Daboase water treatment plant. The project, financed with credit facility from the Australian Export Credit Agency, is expected to deliver 100,000 cubic meters of water, which is approximately 22 million gallons a day, to Sekondi Takoradi and adjoining communities. 2 years down, the project is yet to commence.
The sword has been cut for some time now, so very soon we are going to start that project. I must say that this new treatment plant that is going to be constructed is 4 times bigger than the current plant at Daboase. Currently, the Daboase treatment plant gives us not more than 5 million gallons of water a day. But the new treatment plant is going to produce 22.2 million gallons of water a day. That's 100,000 cubic meters a day. So once that project is completed, all this difficulty we are going through in Sekondi Takoradi whenever we get in the dry season is going to become a thing of the past.
JoyNews in Athalia Kwanza, Takoradi.
We head to the middle belt of the country, precisely to the Tyne district, where a call has gone to duty bearers in education to prioritize kindergarten education facilities in the country. ActionAid Ghana believes the provision of the appropriate kindergarten infrastructure would lay a good foundation for a better future of our children. Acting Country Director of ActionAid Ghana, John Nko, made a remark during a speech delivered at the commissioning of the Drobo Model Kindergarten School with auxiliary facilities at Bedu Drobo in the Tyne district of the Bono region. My colleague Precious Semevo has more in the following report.
The educational history for this community was a very terrible one. Getting even a befitting structure for the community was a big problem. Because of the intervention of the chief and some of the opinion leaders, we got one room which they were used initially for their class meetings.
That was the assembly member for Bipo Ayase and Sukrom electoral area at Bedu Drobo in the Tyne district of the Bono region, Isaac Kwesiapia, on the challenge the community of over 500 inhabitants had in accessing quality education. Some of the children walk over 4 kilometers to nearby communities like Tainso to access basic education, a situation that made some of the school-aged children drop along the line or never get enrolled. To help brighten the future of the community and lift the excluded from poverty through education, ActionAid Ghana has handed over a 2-unit model kindergarten school block to the community. The walled block comes with an office and storeroom, tables and chairs, a mechanized borehole, a playground with some play equipment, teaching and learning materials, and a 4-unit toilet and urinal. John Inko is the acting country director, ActionAid Ghana.
It is our firm belief that this provides a conducive school environment that can lay a good foundation for a better future for the children of Drobo community. It is our hope that partnering with the District Assembly for the provision of these models, lessons are picked to inform plans of the district and other stakeholders for the provision of similar structures across the communities. I acknowledge the funding challenges of the Assembly, but permit me to believe that with little more priority given to the kindergarten education, we can collectively do more in ensuring that schools in the respective communities are progressively provided with appropriate kindergarten education facilities.
Bono Regional Minister Justina Osu-Banahene, in expressing her gratitude to ActionAid, a development partner, also said the government remains committed to making education a priority to reduce poverty.
We sincerely appreciate your significant contribution towards the improvement of the quality of lives of our people. Let me also call on other development partners and NGOs to complement the efforts of government in providing essential social services for the betterment of our citizenry. Access to education has seen a steady progress for the past years. The government has shown absolute commitment in making education a priority. I must admit that there is still a lot to do if we are to achieve the universal primary education by 2030.
So this infrastructure will go a long way in building the knowledge and the capacity and the capabilities of the children or the people in this community. I'm very happy, I must say.
For these women at Drobo, they danced in the hot sun, not for fun, but in appreciation to ActionAid Ghana and a brighter future for their children. Precious Semevo, Joy News, Badu Drobo.
Welcome back from the break. We still stay in the Volta region, where the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Roland Afelmoni, has condemned the high-handed manner of arrest of journalists accused of infringing on the rights of others. The GJA chair is therefore suggesting the use of non-criminal but civil avenues in dealing with such cases. Mr. Afelmoni was speaking at the 25th anniversary ceremony of Volta Premier FM, a Joy FM affiliate in Ho. Kwame Asare has more in the following report.
Volta Premier FM was set up in 1996 by some students with the support of the Ho Technical and University Management to serve the campus community. Though a campus radio, it was widely accepted by the public. Volta Premier FM was the first affiliate of Joy FM in the Volta region. Speaking at the 25th anniversary ceremony of Volta Premier, the Vice-Chancellor of the Ho Technical University, Professor Ben Hojanuga, underscored the critical role the station played in disseminating information and the development of the media landscape in the region. The president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Afelmoni, lauded the achievement of the station but lamented what he described as a threat to press freedom in Ghana.
True, the use of coercive force to arrest journalists and prosecutorial power to punish them may be rooted in law. However, this approach is palpably corrosive to Ghana's image as a standard measure and reference point as far as press freedom is concerned. More seriously, it can trigger a precipitous drop in our ranking on the Press Freedom Index in Africa, where we are currently third, down from first a few years ago, and 30th in the world, a decline from our 27th position. Thankfully, the Constitution provides non-criminal of several avenues for dealing with the use of free speech that infringes on the rights of others. Thus is the way to go in response to the growing cases of arrests and prosecution of journalists.
A seasoned journalist, founder and president of the African University College of Communications, Kojo Yanka, implored the media to be circumspect in their reportage and endeavor to practice development journalism.
And if you are creating or doing something, don't do it because you want to win an award. No. Do it because you love doing it and that it is going to make an impact in somebody's life. If somebody recognizes it and gives you an award, that's fine. I ask myself every day, where would Ghana be if the whole country had listened to Kwame Nkrumah to unite Africa and we're a united continent? And some people say, oh, we speak different languages. I said, that's all rubbish. The Germans, the French, the English, they form a strong European Union. They don't speak the same languages. They are united. If we're a united continent, now all the raw materials for latest technologies are in Africa. We would be holding the bargaining chip. We will not be allowing people to just bring any machine and go into our rivers and then damage the rivers for us. The point I'm making, let's think continentally.
Some outstanding and long-serving staff and clients of Volta Premier were honored with citations. Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, who
as a means of helping improve the participation of girls in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics-related courses among girls in rural areas, the US Ghana Alumni held a week-long STEM clinic for 51 girls in the Nkranza South municipality of the Bono East region. The move, according to the organizers of the training, would help instill confidence as well as encourage more girls to venture into STEM-related courses. Correspondent Anas Sabit has more in the following report.
Even though Ghana made strides in access to education during the Millennium Development Goals era, girls' participation in science, technology, engineering and mathematics subjects in high schools continue to remain lower than that of boys, especially in rural communities. There are many factors that influence this unfortunate phenomenon, and this includes a false belief amongst girls that science-related subjects are more suited for boys. To help improve the situation at hand and close the gap, the US Ghana Alumni held a STEM clinic for 51 girls in the Nkranza South municipality of the Bono East region. Dr. Hilda Mantibia Boy is the president of the US Ghana Alumni.
We know that it's difficult for many girls to venture into science, and especially in many of the rural areas, you see parents are more likely to educate or concentrate on empowering or sending their boy children to school, leaving the girl children to do other things, or not really to push them to go further in their educational pursuits. But we thought that with this, it could be a measure to help. We may not be able to reach every single girl, but we can reach some girls. And this one particularly is for 51 girls that we are taking through the STEM program.
She noted that the STEM clinic is one of the ways of encouraging the girl child into venturing into science and math-related courses.
We believe that the STEM clinic is one of the ways to go. It's just one of the ways to go. Now, the other component will be in the homes. We need to constantly encourage our parents and the people in the community that the girl is no different from the boy when it comes to intelligence.
For Evans O'Day, a mathematics tutor at the Achimota School and one of the 2021 top 10 teachers in the world who is amongst the mentors of the project, there should be a voluntary attempt to move away from the terrible way of teaching STEM courses and move into making it more practical.
Yeah, the situation currently in the schools, especially in line with science and maths, or let's say the STEM courses that we do in secondary schools, has become more of theoretical sort of lessons. The students are always targeting writing exams and pass. And so anything practical, they want to theoreticalize it so that at least they can write exams and pass. And that has been, actually, it's not our fault as teachers. The system actually has created it. And so this project actually is trying to help the kids to realize the practical aspect of STEM.
He asks that the practical way of teaching STEM courses would help attract more girls into the area.
So I believe the impact is great. And I'm sure as they progress with this sort of training that we are giving them, they will fall in love with the subject, and then they will do it. They will love science, they will love math, because they see practical math here, they see practical science here, and I'm sure that will encourage them to enter into engineering and other related programs that goes with STEM.
Some of the participating girls expressed satisfaction with the words of encouragement from the mentors and asked that the clinic has helped change their perception about STEM-related courses.
Today, it has made science easier for me because JHS level, we normally read and write practical exams without practicing it on our hand. But this place has given us the opportunity to practice it on our hands.
As we always do the theory, we didn't know how it can, but when we did the practicals, we were able to know that it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all.
So amongst the various measures to help improve STEM education in rural communities is this particular STEM clinic that is being held here in Nkranza today. And organizers are optimistic that by the close of this session, these girls here will equally encourage other girls in the various community to venture into STEM education. From Nkranza for JoyNews, my name is Anas Sabit, reporting.
Let's still stay with Anas Sabit from the Bono East region, where the paramount chief of the Techiman Traditional Council, Oseadeyo Ekunfi Ameyo IV, has charged the Economic and Organized Crime Office to collaborate with other state agencies to bring to book persons engaging in cyber and organized crimes across the country. He says the move would help instill investor confidence as well as help promote government's digitization agenda. He made this call when the executive director of IOCO, COP Mamitiwa Adodankwa, paid a courtesy call on him as part of the familiarization visit to the Bono East region. Correspondent Anas Sabit has more in the following reports.
Cybercrime has become a cankerworm eating very deep into social fiber of the Ghanaian youth. Research findings on the profile of cybercrime in Ghana paint a very worrying picture which calls for concern. This even gets more disturbing considering the fact that Ghana is named amongst the top 10 countries in the world with high cybercrime prevalence. The president of the Techiman Traditional Council and Bono East Regional Representative at the Council of State, Oseadeyo Ekunfi Ameyo IV, is therefore appealing to the Economic and Organized Crime Office to collaborate with other state institutions to bring to book people involved in organized crimes across the country.
I'm urging her to collaborate with Financial Intelligence Center, Bank of Ghana, National Security and National Communication Authority, so that we can nip in the bud a criminal gang or syndicate operating in the country, stealing electronic value being traded by Momo merchants and vendors. They have also managed to enter the banking system, and when things of this nature happens, people tend to lose interest in the banking system, and if these nefarious activities are not nipped in the bud, at the end of the day, the digitization agenda by the government will not see the light of the day.
The traditional ruler and lawmaker made this appeal when the executive director of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, COP Mamitiwa Adodankwa, paid a courtesy call on him as part of her familiarization visit to the Bono East region. He further expressed worry at the effects of electronic crimes on general trading activities within the Techiman municipality.
It will make the place unpopular, and traders, virtually you come, I also come, and then we exchange goods and then money. Is that not it? But if you are coming and then only to end up losing your money. Next time you will not bring your goods to sell. So apart from the armed robbery, these electronic crimes too have to be tackled.
The new Iyoko boss on her part noted that her outfit is working together with other stakeholders to divert the minds of the youth away from engaging into internet fraud and its related activities.
We are now working together with the National Cybercrime Authority, the National Communication Authority, and other stakeholders to look at how best we can help to take the youth minds away from cybercrime. Because when you look at the cases that are coming from development partners, most of the people who have become victims are from foreign countries. And it doesn't speak too well of us as a country. So we need to work seriously hard to just divert the minds of the youth from those kind of activities to profitable and valuable activity that will help them in their future.
Bono East Regional Minister Kwasi Edujan bemoaned the fact that organized crime is rampant in the Techima municipality and asked that the new regional Iyoko office will help minimize crime in general within the region.
As we are aware, Techima, for that matter, is an area that this organized crime can easily, find its root or can be nurtured. So if we have her coming to the region at such a time as this, then we know that we'll be able to mobilize and organize ourselves so that we'll be able to meet some of these criminal activities and then get it out of the way before they manifest. There's going to be more personnel, there's going to be more logistics, and there's going to be an enhancement on their activities. So that in itself is a plus to us.
JoyNews' Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin brings us a story of a 25-year-old SHS graduate at Mampontin in the Ashanti region who recounts how people, including his family members, ridiculed him for venturing into skilled trade. According to Emmanuel Amanpo, most of his colleagues who also ridiculed him are now university graduates but cannot find jobs. Emmanuel nearly quit the skilled trade because of the negative comments he received from people. But now he says he is happy. Mohammed Nuruddin brings us more of the story.
Emmanuel Amanpo is a 25-year-old senior high school graduate from Mamponting in the Ashanti region. He failed to further his education to the tertiary level, but now makes a living from his established business. Though he was ridiculed by mates for not going to the university, Emmanuel is a happy man now.
Almost all years as a month were fed up. No catch them say, hey,
those I was staying with at Ponkrono had finished SHS and were furthering their education. They were wondering why SHS graduates decided to be an artisan instead of furthering my education. I was punctual at work, but because of continuous ridicule, I got fed up and stopped going for the training. My master usually called to inquire why I was not coming, but I lied I was sick. Most of those who discouraged me are now university graduates, but unemployed. They now see me as a better person than before. I went through a lot of challenges. Even some of my family members discouraged me, but I stood my grounds and went back to learn. The work is not easy.
Na say nya GDS akoye nti me fa challenges mu pa na nya easy ubesua so de nya easy nchan wa oni nchanse betwitwa ne ade ade etimi twitwa me.
Emmanuel was a business student at Mpatasia Senior High Technical School. The course perhaps helped him to develop his business idea. Emmanuel began his business 2 years ago. After 5 years of training, he raised 4,000 cedis from the money he received from his master during the 5-year training.
4,000 money started here. Man, you be free baby. By As time goes on,
I started with 4,000 cedis without support from anyone. With time, people buy our items. We get contract from poultry farmers and they order in large quantities. That has helped my business to grow and our income has increased.
He makes cold pot, poultry feeding troughs, trunks among others from materials like used zinc.
Feeding troughs, poultry feeding troughs.
We make cold pots, poultry feeding troughs, bakery materials, trunks, and metal tenor. We have people who supply us with the materials. Sometimes, if someone throws his building, we buy the leftovers materials or waste. At times, those who renovate their leaky roofs call us to buy the old materials.
And normally in store so be born down so na si bi car no afre na waste ones ne akoto. Obi won so a otunu down so obi wa ne down na rust leakage bi aba nchense no. In a
good week, Emmanuel can make 3,000 cedis in sales.
Yeah, you manage deal with orders for the beba. By rough estimate the week.
We deal with orders from our customers. We can make 3,000 cedis a week and our profit is between 5,000 and 1,000 Ghana cedis. But sometimes sales can be bad.
So you back by today being so a bathroom. I said you marry on and off woman a bathroom.
The young entrepreneur has 4 apprentices and 3 casual workers, including one of his mates in senior high school. He pays them 50 cedis a day.
And crowd almost 7.
We are 7. 4 are apprentices and 3 casual workers. Today, some of them didn't come. That's why we are few. One of the guys was my SHS mate.
The 25-year-old does not regret the decision to be an artisan. Some mates of Emmanuel are now university graduates. Some have learned trade, while others are still struggling with life.
School. Yeah, you be share. You 10 pesos. I miss meet me here day.
Though Emmanuel would want to further his education, he does not intend to do so now.
I mean, your chance in there,
if I get the opportunity to further my education, I will. But for now, I haven't planned for it. Because after school, you will still have to look for a job. Now, I am focusing on my business.
His major fear is losing his current location. I pray that my business grows and I will be able to establish a factory. Sometimes parents bring their children to be trained, but because of monetary issues among others, we are unable to engage them. For instance, the land isn't mine. If the owner comes, he will evict us. We have been evicted before from a piece of land. We don't have about 100,000 cedis to buy land for the business.
100,000.
Emmanuel feels he has accomplished a great deal in life. Instead of waiting for white-collar jobs, he urges young Ghanaians to buckle up and do something for themselves. In this modern world, you don't have to rely on someone. You don't depend on the government either. Everyone should look for something meaningful to do to plan ahead of the future. Emmanuel could probably keep going for a while on the benefits of learning to be a little more self-sufficient. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
Let's do some energy and technology news, and the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani says it is working to position the institution among the top universities in Africa and beyond in the next decade. According to the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Elvis Asaribediakon, research into areas such as energy, natural resources, health and technological innovations with the capacity to support national development drive the vision. Speaking at the 10th anniversary launch of INE in Sunyani, Professor Asaribediakon appealed to the government to help bridge the infrastructure deficit. There is more in the following report by Precious Semevo.
The University of Energy and Natural Resources (UNE) in Sunyani in the Bono region, established in 2011, has seen its student enrollment grow from 154 in 2012 to over 10,000 in 2022, with academic programs also from 4 to over 40 and 2 other campuses at Domahinkro and Kenyase in the Hafo region. With many remarkable successes after a decade of existence, there remain many challenges frustrating the achievement of the university's vision. At the launch of the university's 10th anniversary celebration, the Vice Chancellor of UNE, Professor Elvis Asaribediakon, said the vision going forward is to be among the top-notch universities in Africa and beyond, with research in their core fields and technological innovations that support national development.
We'll be able to develop in technology and innovations that can support national development, and that is something that is dear to my heart. Because in terms of energy, renewable energy, we have a role to play. Now we lack infrastructure, but we are working towards it. We hope government will come to aid, but we are not only just waiting for government. Within the university, we are also working through IGF, try to so come out with some of this infrastructure. We know that by 10 years' time, the University of Energy and Natural Resources will be one of the top universities in Africa, if not in the world. We have a very competent academic staff and administrative staff that are working towards this goal.
Bono Regional Minister Justina Usu-Banahene applauded the university management for the many innovative programs. She, however, wants entrepreneurship programs made compulsory for all students in the school.
I'm also aware of the entrepreneurship program run by this institution. I must say that such is the kind of education that our current youth need so that they can be efficient and functionally useful upon their graduation. I wish to request that as far as practicable, the institution should make the study of entrepreneurship a compulsory part of this course of study of every student, no matter his or her program of pursuit, so that they can each have a fair idea of how to set themselves up in the job market upon completion of their university education. I wish to assure you of the strong determination of government to work together with the country's tertiary institutions in a bid to find solutions to the many challenges.
On her part, the first Vice Chancellor of UNE, Professor Esi Ewua, expressed worry over the lack of self-discipline in waste disposal in the country, a situation she said, if not checked, will have serious consequences on food security.
I want to warn this nation that if we continue our careless behavior of throwing plastics anywhere, a time will come that there will be no food. And I pray that we will take a serious effort to discipline ourselves and not throw plastic waste anywhere we want. And I'm happy that you have a cleaning exercise. And I want to challenge the metro or municipal head to make sure that Sunyani is as clean.
The year-long celebration includes public lectures, community engagement, and inter-school quizzes. Precious Semevo, JoyNews, Sunyani.
Let's take a trip to the Upper East region, shall we? And my colleague Albert Sori reports that at least 200 pupils of the Zari Experimental Primary School at Bogatanga in the Upper East region will no longer sit on the bare, cold cement floors of their classroom for lessons. This is because the Jackson College of Education has donated 100 dual decks to the school. The donation of the decks came after students of the Jackson College of Education who were sent on teaching practice at this primary school saw the plight of the little children and reported back to the principal of the college. The principal of the college decided to act, and this is the result. Abesori has more in the following report.
Less than a month ago, pupils of the Zare Experimental Primary School here in Bolgatanga did not have furniture to sit on for lessons. They always sat on the bare classroom floors to receive instructions from their teachers and then lie down on their bellies to take down the notes in their books. Today, the children are excited because the principal of the Jackson College of Education has donated 100 dual desks to their school. The Jackson College of Education is a private college by distance learning affiliated to the University of Education, Winneba. Last year, the college sent some of its students to the Zare Experimental Primary School to do a mandatory off-campus teaching practice as part of their studies. These student teachers wrote reports to the college after their practice in which the principal, Theodosia Jackson, was informed that the Zare Experimental Primary School had no classroom furniture. Touched by the plight of the children, she decided to help.
When they sent the report, I realized that the children were lying on their bellies and the student teachers were struggling to squat to feed them. I said, how come in this modern 21st century in Ghana, not in a village, but at the center of Boriga? I was so sad and I decided that something must be done. So immediately I really organized myself. I got the statistics from the headmistress and he said they were 200. So 200, I knew 100 dual decks would be sufficient for all the children. I remember when I was a child, I used to carry my own desk, table and chair to school, and my mother will accompany me to cross the street. But this time it looks as if everything is on the shoulders of the government. So people should come in to help.
Gladys Nso is headmistress of the Zare Experimental Primary School.
At first, we were not having furniture, and that way it was not easy for teaching and learning. People were always on the floor. Head teacher is always unhappy, as well as the teachers, as well as the parents. Every day, parents will come here with complaints. Their children are not neat because there was no furniture. But now that there is furniture, we are now going to be sitting on tables and chairs.
The pupils of the Zare Experimental Primary School could not hide their joy now that their days of sitting on the bare floors for lessons were over.
Thank God, Jackson Educational College are able to give us some of the furniture. It will help us in learning. In the class, we will sit and learn comfortably. We are still pleading to governments, NGOs, and general public to help us to get more of the furniture.
Education stakeholders, including the chief and traditional authorities of the Zare community and the Bolgatanga Municipal Assembly, expressed their gratitude to the principal of the Jackson College of Education by presenting a citation and other gifts to her. Reporting for JoyNews, Albert Sori, Bolgatanga.
Let's end this edition of From Our Correspondent with Rafiq Salam from WA. We can then prepare to say wow with him when he is done. He tells us the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has conceded that the demands for better working conditions by some public sector workers, especially the University Teachers Association, are legitimate. He is, however, of the view that per the current economic conditions in the country, it cannot satisfy their demands. Ken Ofori-Atta made the statement at the town hall meeting held in the Upper West region. Correspondent Rafiq Salam has more from WA. And that's our show for today. This has been From Our Correspondent with me, Richard K Nyarko from Cape Coast.